Welcome back, travel bugs. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to go to southeastern Alaska and visit the city of Skagway. Skagway is one of only three cities in that portion of the Alaska that you can drive to, but we accessed it because we were sailing on Norwegian Encore in the Inside Passage route, and just about every ship will stop at Skagway. Skagway is known for the Klondike Gold Rush era, and there's about 6 blocks within the district, the city, that is designated as the historic district, and it is preserved by the National Park Services. So it's definitely one of those places that you want to see when you cruise to Alaska. It is wonderful place for those who are into history because you will learn a lot about the gold rush era. The buildings, a lot of them resembles that era. So when you're there, make sure you stop into some of those buildings. We were there in October and a lot of the restaurants and the stores were closed, but we were there mainly to see and ride the train. So come with me and let me show you around town and just kind of show you our experience on the train.
Once we got off the ship, we had to walk to get to our excursion, which was going to be riding the White Pass and Yukon Railroad train. So you could see that you had to go past the initial restaurants and everything was closed. It's pretty accessible. You walk up this ramp and you are right there where the train boards. Now, if you purchased your excursion through the cruise ship, the train is right there for you. If you didn't, you had to walk into town and get to the visitor center to redeem your pass. So, like I said before, the buildings in a 6 block radius are protected by the national and maintained by the National Park Services. And so the buildings all reflect that era. This is the first train leaving. Ours was at 1 o'clock. I mean, it was delayed, so we had time to walk around and just browse around town. Most of the places were closed, and you could still get souvenirs. Our biggest thing was to get to the Doughboy, and that is what our focus was. So as you can see around town, it's pretty dead. It was October, and so it was mostly tourists that came off the ship that were walking around. What you're looking at right now is the downtown area, and you see the bus that's going past. That bus is what you can catch for a audio tour, and it takes you around town. And I believe in the summertime, it will take you a little bit up the road, but not the railroad. So instead of catching the train, you could catch one of these buses to take a tour. As The one place that was definitely crowded was the Doughboy place. And Doughboy is basically the Alaskan version of a funnel cake. You'll see it in a minute. It's a very thin dough that is fried and then covered in cinnamon sugar. I'm going to tell you right now, so you need to plan accordingly for this because it does take some time. Everything is handmade one at a time, as you see the gentleman dropping it into the oil right there. And it's fried individually. Now, the way to get around this is one person can be in the line for pickup and one person can be in the line to pay. And as you can see, it's crispy. Hear that?
So was it worth it?
Oh yeah. Oh good. Nice and sweet. Absolutely.
Tastes like
I can't believe I was here. This.
better than it tastes better than funnel cake, right? Oh, your whole face got cinnamon sugar. Oh, you should see the line. Tastes like a better version of a funnel cake when you are in Skagway. Grab yourself a doughboy. It feels a sweet spot.
Terrible. Terrible.
It's good.
After getting our fill of sugar, it was time for us to go stand in line for our train. The train was about 15-20 minutes delayed. We did have to stand out in the rain. There isn't that much shelter, so plan accordingly when you are dressing to be on here. Now, the temperature difference from down here was totally different by the time we climbed up the mountain, so also dress for the cold. There are few accessibility cars, but note that the steps are very steep. I had to help some people down, even though they have the bottom step that you can get on. Soon we were on the train, but so let me just give you a little bit of history. The White Pass and Yukon route was built in 1898 and was completed in the 1900s. It's basically some folks found gold, other people wanted the gold, so they decided to make the treacherous journey to get the gold.
Oh my, it's not raining as much as I thought it was
Now, as the story goes, a guy named Mike Henney, who was a railroad contractor, heard about people getting killed. By this point, about 19,000 people had gotten killed just from trying to go through the path and get to the gold. So him and some people from England were in the right place at the right time in Skagway. He told them that he could build this. If they just give him some dynamite, he could build anything to hell. And they gave him some money and he built the railroad. Now, this is not for the faint of heart because as the conductor, they were telling us the story, but the scene was just so beautiful that I basically didn't listen to it. So if you go, please listen to the story. It's very fascinating. But just think about huge mountain cliffs, workers hanging off the cliffs and throwing dynamite and blowing it up to create this marvel for us to be able to ride it now and enjoy it. It was getting pretty cold at this point, and as you can see, we're very close to some of the edges. So I was just about to decide to go in and get a little bit of warmth, if I want to call it. And I looked over and my husband was still taking pictures. Everything was going well. But then it seemed like some of the areas were getting pretty close to the edge. And oh my gosh, this is the point where we lost him.
I didn't expect that.
Okay, so I slowed down my yelling so it doesn't like scream in your ears. But none of us were expecting that, and that freaked me out. I looked over, and my poor husband, by this point, he was done. He was done. He has a fear of heights and it has gotten worse over the years. He was so done with me. So I don't have like professional pictures to show you, but I'm hoping that you are taking in the scene and just experience God's beauty and what human ingenuity can create. And it's not raining.
You gotta wait the next day.
You have to give them good luck. Come on, come fly.
Doesn't that sound remind you of the New York subway rail?
Oh my gosh, look at that height.
Going through this tunnel was the most amazing thing. Look at that shot that I captured right there. So we did not go all the way to the very top of the summit. We ended at the inspiration point because there was a flood or a rock slide or something in 2022. So that's blocked off right now.
Hired in 1969, and that
So what you're looking at, this bridge is not functioning anymore, and as you can see, it broke, and that break that you see happened in 2022.
How was that?
If you have agoraphobia, what's acrophobia? I'm sorry. You just, no. I have no words for it. My body just went limp. I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything. It's beautiful, I mean, for what I saw. But if you have agoraphobia, you just, not, I don't
Not come or just stay?
I don't know, I guess sit on the opposite side each way so you don't have to see it, but just know that it's there. I mean, the train's not gonna fall, but that's what it feels like when you see it. It's just, if you think you can handle it, put it this way, whatever you think it is, it's 10 times worse. That's all I can tell you.
survived. He's fine. He went and got another doughboy with some friends and he was great. I really appreciate you taking the time out to watch this video, and I hope that you are able to take something from it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you at the next one.